Are you a light worker? Do you want to know if you're a light worker? Do you think you're a light worker, but you don't think you're awakened, and so that makes you not a light worker? I'm going to tell you what light workers are, and of course, take it or leave it, but I think I have a pretty good handle on this that may help you realize that you may be a light worker even if you're not awakened or in that super enlightened state. I'm going to explain this to you because this could be something you could work on that could put you at ease and take you into that space where you feel like you've got real purpose and help you to work on yourself with your own frequency. Are you a light worker? Let's find out. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I'm doing a full body cleanse. Oh, the stuff I have to take every day, but I'm feeling that difference. You know, every part of your body is the density that we come into that makes this that human experience. So when you can clean that up, it does help. Now let me ask you something. Do you think you're a light worker? Or do you think light workers are these people who are in a super enlightened state? They can heal people, they can do all kinds of stuff. Light workers do not have to be awakened. And here's what I want to share with you. Now, if you go into my miracle circle, I have a monthly miracle circle, go to landriaonkka.com, you can come join me. We actually break this down. Now, what I want you to understand is that every single person is light and pure. Everything else is the created experience that we choose. All purposefully chosen, all by your choice, with your permission. Everything else is the facade. Now I'll give you an example, and we talk about this in Miracle Circle. Everyone walks into the game room as the exact same person, right? The exact same energy field. You may choose to go play Pac-Man, and I may choose to play pinball somewhere. That's all it is. We come in here as light beings. Now, we do have individual journeys, so some people may have karma they have to work through because they chose certain things in the last 100 lifetimes, and they're going to work it out. That does exist. That's just your energy field. But you, the original you of what you truly are, is 100% pure light, unconditional love. Everything else is an experience within that. So yes, there are people that come here on different frequencies, and every single one of us is here to work through it, to experience it, to have our own individual, let's just say, journeys, and through that interact with one another, because your journey affects me. We are all one energy field, so your concentrated energy field will have an effect on me. Now, what about light workers? What about those people who came here who maybe they have just one purpose, and that is to, you know, help pull the planet out of the crap hole, right? Out of the crapper, right? And then those people very much would appear to be in an awakened state. Now, there is a whole group of light workers who are still working through their own energy fields, but they are in a higher frequency of giving and compassion. And they still may have their own things that they came here to work through, like self-love or just forgiveness, or with their own personal relationships, or dealing with their self-limitations. Maybe they live in lack and they connect that to giving, and so they think that, you know, they have to be broke to be giving people. So they're working through that themselves. So maybe they're not in a super awakened state, but they have a higher frequency because they're still putting others first. That's a light worker. So I've heard many of you tell me that you deal with all these personal things, but that you're just giving and loving and you just can't do enough. A lot of you for animals, which is amazing. Thank you for that, because it's not easy to go in with children or elderly or animals, those who are most, let's just say, vulnerable. And we are there to make a difference and protect them. That's a light worker. So you may go home to a spouse that doesn't treat you well and you put up with it. And you're like, I know this, I know love, I know compassion, and then I come home and I got this other thing going on. And you know you're not in a total awakened state. Awakening is not one space. Awakening is a journey. And so there are some people who are in super high awakened states and come here that way, and others who are super low density, and who knows what that journey was for them. Not for us to judge, but because we're all here together, they will challenge us, right? So you think you're super awakened? Yeah. Are you judging the murderer, the rapist, or whatever else? They are still the same energy field, original energy field and light that you are, going through a journey of experiencing things of which you as a light worker can now let go of the judgment and be there. Now, if you are judging other people and, pointing fingers and, everything to do with our, the government or anything else, if you're in that space, you're not a light worker. Light workers are focused on giving, compassion, and sharing. They have a passion, usually for one type of, let's just say, area, whether it's children, elderly, animals. They will focus on that. And so they'll be very giving, and again, they may come home and have their own things to deal with. Now, even super enlightened people still have to deal with the density of the planet and have to deal with seeing all of this and experiencing it, which doesn't feel good. As a human, we have to experience that, and still works through all of that, because even the most awakened people on this planet, if you're in a body, you're not in the total, let's just say, highest space of the one. Because you couldn't even appear as a human being, right? Once you come into this body, you are already in a lower density configuration, let's put it that way. So you could have a super high frequency in this body, but you're still going to have that density, the lower density that you have to deal with. So it's a great opportunity for anybody on any frequency to come here and experience going to that highest level. So light workers, giving, charitable, they could be wealthy and just doing a lot of really cool stuff for other people, and then coming home and dealing with, not being at peace, or, feeling like, they're angry or whatever, so absolutely you are a light worker just by being here, but most people are still working through their own personal energy fields to clear that up, and this is the #1 classroom to do that, all right? Earth is the most progressive, most difficult classroom to raise your frequency. So those of you who came here that have to clear up or seek to clear up your own energy fields, this is the place. So when you're complaining about, not being able to see your relatives for, really, seriously, what can you do? There's a lot of people out there that are really struggling right now. My neighborhood, get in your car, and I have friends that carry little treat bags, and as soon as they see a homeless person, they stop and give them a bag of food and juice box and water and all this stuff. Are you doing that? Or are you saying, well, I want to be with my relative? This is an unprecedented time that's testing you. So if you're going into the space of me and what I want, I'm feeling sorry for myself, and I'm going to blame somebody else, you're not in that space. Start working on that. Because a light worker would say, well, okay, I'm not going to be with my family, but there are a lot of people out there hurting right now. What can I do? Come on, let's band together and take some things. I just asked my neighbors, I said, can you give me a list of some local organizations and what they need? Because I have a lot of stuff here I would like to package up and give them, like gifts for the family, clothing, for women who may not be able to afford to go out and get anything, food, all these things. I want that list so that I can focus on the giving, the light work, right? That's the light work. The light is never putting yourself first. Why? Because that is you. So when you do it for somebody else, you're doing it for yourself. So you will raise your frequency by doing that, but your focus isn't about this. Your focus is that, which is really the same thing. Does this make sense? So, are you a light worker? You can be one. Stop thinking about me, poor little me, and blaming people. Everything's a choice. Your reaction, your thoughts are 100% why you came here. What are you choosing? We're going into a very, very progressive time now. 2021, get ready. I told you can loosen your seatbelt, because if you've done the work and you're ready to continually go into that space of loving, giving, acceptance, understanding what we are, you will go and you will glide through this. Even if you're experiencing some of the, the drama, it's usually drama because, most of it doesn't have to be a problem. You'll still be okay. So last year I told you to put on your seatbelt. It was going to be unbelievable. And then this whole challenge came. Unbeknownst to me, it was going to be something like that, but I knew something big was coming. I'm going to tell you right now, something huge and amazing and wonderful is coming. If you've seen my other videos, I'm going to keep talking about 2021 and beyond, because I want you to know this is when it's happening. Why? Because we're going into the challenge. We're going into the challenge as a globe, as one planet, not just individually anymore. And we're not playing it out just individually. We are within the one challenge. But it's now, are you going to work together, or are you going to complain about the dumbest crap? Seriously, some of the things that we complain about, it's so not important. Let's work together. Let's change the planet. Let's raise the frequency of the planet. Come on over. Every month I have a miracle circle. And as of this one, it's miracles in challenges. I talk to you about going into that space so that no matter what happens out here, you know you're connected to that light, and you know how to get there, and you know how to practice it every day. And as you do that, you spread that light and you change the frequency of the planet. So we're going to work on that. We're also going to have a light meditation in every one of these sessions. And if you can't make it live, you will have it. It'll be on the website. You log in and you will have the recording, and you will have practices that I will have in there, and unlimited. Some of my courses are unlimited for a year. This is going to be unlimited forever. And hopefully we'll just continue to do more and more. All right, so as always, please subscribe. And of course, those of you who are ready to go educate yourself and learn new skills and step out of the complaining and the matrix, learn some things that are going to be extremely valuable. This is internet training with an unbelievable community. It's an acceleration of learning how to create online businesses. No experience necessary. You want to try it? Come on over. That's a free video series that tells you about it. And then you can go down in the description and sign up for Manifest Anything. That's a free video series. Every week I send you a video just to remind you of how you can go into that space to manifest anything. And then you get announcements and discounts for things over there too. All right? No more picking on people. No more judgment. No more blah, blah. And it's time for us to start walking away from that. You don't have to put up with that. So when people start to behave badly, it's time to focus on your progression of your frequency. And a light worker will do that. They're going to go over here and help those in need who desire it, and not listen to the garbage and the arguing and the my opinion and my ego. They will focus over here. Again, you may deal with your own progression, your spiritual progression and evolution. That's okay. You can still be a light worker. When you're doing and spreading light to others, you are a light worker. Everyone's capable of doing that. If you're not in that space, then work on yourself. It's okay. That's not selfish. You may have been through a long history of things and decisions in lower frequencies, and now it's time for you to change that. So you can't make a mistake, but I think you're ready to pull out of the struggle and the pain. You never have to struggle anymore. Struggle is when you fight something. When you look at it and you say, I came here for this, it doesn't feel good, but I don't have to react negatively to it. How can I see this differently? How can I be the difference? How can I see that other person as light and not judge them? You're whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Come on over and spend a couple hours with me in the Miracle Circle. Let's start spreading our light. Namaste.